Life, I mean, here's the thing though. Life doesn't suck. Life is pretty cool. Life is pretty fucking cool. Like, this is fucking wild. Like, just for a sec, like, do you realize what's happening right now? Like, over millions, okay, so over billions of years, the planet cooled and life formed. Like, the phytoplanktons created enough oxygen to create oxygen-based fucking shit and fucking and carbon in the air to warm the planet. And all that fucking, the little amoebas, the eukaryocytes become fucking bigger and bigger. And then you have fucking things with not just mouths, but buttholes. And then we have the whole transcendence of the things with tubes turning into fish with fins and bigger macroorganisms. And then those macroorganisms started fucking developing feet for land and shit like that. And then fucking amphibians crawled out of the ocean and became four-legged creatures on land, and little rodents, and fucking those turned into apes and fucking monkeys and shit. And then here we are now, us here now, fucking, we tricked rocks into thinking for us, and now we send it across metal wires thousands of miles all the way across the fucking globe just so we can all sit and talk and play video games together. What? Like, what? That doesn't make any, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't. You're not going to convince me it does. I can't, it doesn't make sense. Like, this is what we did. We tricked rocks into thinking. We came from the Earth's crust and the chemical compositions and all this shit and these life forms and in molecules from meteorites smashing into the molten Earth and then all that shit. Somehow consciousness exists and this stuff. We become thinking meat. We're thinking meat that made thinking rocks to communicate with one another. I don't buy it. I don't fucking buy it. It's weird. Life is not only amazing, it is weird and it is painful. But in that pain, we find a great capacity for love and compassion. We see it across multiple species, care and compassion, to work together as one life force. It's an amazing thing. It's a powerful thing. So for every bad feeling you have, there is an equal and opposite good feeling that someone else is holding above your head. No, I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? It's all just a simulation in our own brains, in our own thinking meat. This is all simulated. Because what I am perceiving and what I am interpreting and all that stuff is all passing through all 5 of my senses and being interpreted by my brain through all of my experiences, including my traumas and all the fucking other bullshit and all that shit. Like, that all gets filtered through that. So what I'm actually experiencing is not only not reality, it's not even now. Like, there's a delay. There's a delay and there's a process. And that process is what everything, all of our information goes through before we can even react. So not only we're living in the past, the present, while it probably, we can kind of assume it exists, we don't know. We can't. All we know for ourselves is that we think. For whatever that is. We don't even know what thinking is. We don't even know what thinking is. Like, we can look at the meat. We can get our rocks we tricked into thinking, right? And get these giant magnets and shit and look at our brain signals and shit while we're thinking and just look at the meat. And we can look at the meat while it's thinking and we still don't know what the fuck it is. We don't know what the fuck it is. We don't know. We're never gonna know. Like, how do you figure that out? Like, no matter what, it still comes back to the fact that it's all interpreted through our senses in our brain. So, like, that's the stopping block. So until we can, like, acquiesce into the greater consciousness of the universe itself as one giant being, I don't think we'll ever know what life even is. If it even ends. Like, we don't experience death. We don't experience death. That's the most amazing. That's the coolest thing. You will never experience death. You will experience dying, which that's the scary part. Dying is scary. Death is not. Death is just, I mean, we don't know. But we don't know, we don't experience it. So technically, we all live forever in the sense that all we experience is what we're conscious of. And whatever we're not conscious of, we don't experience. For the most part. There's some wiggle room in there. There's always wiggle room. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. Life is weird. Life is weird. But I don't think life is bad. Because, like, even on top of, we go back even before, even before the formation of the planet, like, to the Big Bang. How many gummies did you have? A couple. But, like, even, so, the Big Bang. Okay, so, the fucking James Webb Space Telescope, right? That's got the fucking... So they're seeing pictures of... They're seeing galaxy formations that are older than what we thought the fucking Big Bang happened. Which means galaxies... And I might have said universes. Galaxies are older than what we know as the universe. So the beginning of our universe isn't what we thought the beginning of the universe is. We don't call it the... Yeah, the fucking big... The big looky-loo glass thinking rock in space. That thing. Yeah. So, like, we don't know. We don't even know what that is. And then on top of that, why is there something when there could just be nothing? Why is there something? Like, what? Is it because nothing is something? Because we can conceive... Because it's possible that the thinking meat of the universe can consciously describe and allocate a concept of nothingness, albeit imperfectly, does that necessarily give birth to all that exists? You could drive yourself mad thinking about it. I enjoy the shit out of it because it gives me great peace. It gives me great peace to ponder these things. Because they're unknowable, there's limitless potential, which means that, so while the universe is what it is and our contexts are what we're born into and all of those other greater realities that we can understand or experience or believe we experience, however you want to say it, we can make it whatever we want it to be. We can make it whatever we want it to be. It's fucking amazing. Like, life doesn't suck. We suck. We suck. We're human. We're terrible people. We hurt people. We love people. We help people. We do bad things. We hurt ourselves. We say things we don't mean. We treat people poorly. We treat people well. We forget about people. The things that are a part of life that suck are mostly related to how we treat each other. And the things in life that are fucking fantastic are also related to how well we treat each other. Like the biggest things, the most important things, your friends, your chosen families, your loves, all those things. All those potentials of good things all come from us, come from you, come from me, come from you. And it's an incredibly powerful thing. And just like thinking about the universe, we can think ourselves mad, trying to consider like, what else could we have done? What could we do better? How do I avoid hurting? So how do I avoid getting hurt? How do I? You can ponder all of these fucking things, and you're never gonna have an answer. It's unknowable because you don't know what's gonna happen. You can't predict all the variables. You can't hone them down. The best you can do is enjoy the ride. Do your best to help each other and enjoy the ride. And definitely de-ask the questions. What was that from the old Kung Fu fucking miniseries with David Carradine. His sensei was like, seek not to understand all the answers. Or no, seek not to know all the answers. Instead, seek to understand the questions. Well, that stuck with me, man. That stuck with me, man. That stuck with me for so long. Ugh. Because the answers don't matter. The destination doesn't matter. It's the journey we're on. It's the journey we're on. It's the questions we ask. It's the things we navigate. It's the way we work together. To what end doesn't matter as long as we're working together and we're helping. And acknowledging that we hurt. Because, like, you know, we have a fantastic community, but people do get hurt. People do miscommunicate. Things do go wrong. Not that anything, I'm not referencing anything recent or anything, but I'm just saying that, like, even with the best intentions, we make mistakes. And how we navigate those mistakes is more important than the mistakes themselves. And how we work past them. So, yeah. That's my rant. That's my rant. That's a good Bodhi consciousness little clip. I'm going to clip that for later. I'll just mark it. Yeah, man, I'm sad.
Open the door.
What's the password?
Password.
Come on in.
Your password's password?
Behind you.
What?